handling the freezing, the sort of anxiety, the nervous, the pressure. I actually thought they handled the occasion very well.
Look
and that's
at the
positive.
battles, look
They
at
didn't come here today
the
and not
energy
play.
we
They come here
used, look
today
at
and
the
sort of what would
atmosphere
be.
in the stadium. It was amazing. So
I have no idea. I thought they
course,
played a good game of
everyone
football.
knows
One of
how
the best
much I enjoyed
performances
that.
I've seen here from an
And,
away team, to be fair.
good win.
So for
The
Arsenal,
Premier
it's
League
as good as it
again
can get.
almost. They have
But
a
you're
game
up
in
against
hand.
a
We have 3 points
juggernaut.
ahead, 5
And that
games to
juggernaut's
play,
Pep Guardiola.
so game on.
And
Don't lose
Manchester
the
City have
focus
won
and the focus
title after
environment.
title in
And
this
when
last
they did
7
that,
or
of
8
course,
years.
it's our game
And
in hand
they've
right
just
now,
stole
and we
ahead at
can
the
be,
right time.
you know,
They've got the
there,
momentum,
and that is what
and
we
they
have to
will
do,
go in
to
front
win
on
our
Wednesday.
games.
You know,
Everyone knew
they'll
if we
beat
lost this
Burnley at
game,
Burnley.
or if we didn't win
There's
this
still
game,
a way
it
to
kind
go.
of would be over. So we're still in the race. We need to keep on building and take step by step because it's a new game on Wednesday.
Guardiola's kind of playing it down a little bit there in those interviews, and yet those celebrations afterwards, it felt like had some real feeling behind them.
Well, I suppose if you're an Arsenal fan or player, then they looked a bit excessive and like maybe they'd already won it. I think it was more a celebration of realising now they're really in this and it's in their own hands. They've kind of beat the opposition, sent out a warning, sent out a message, if you want, to everyone. We're here, we're back with you. They've got a game in hand, but well, let's say game in hand, the game on against Burnley
Wednesday,
midweek, and then all of a sudden they could be sitting top. Now, if you're sitting top after all that time being second, well, Wayne will tell me better than I know, but if you fall from being on top after all that time and then drop, it's a mind check.
I think it was a little bit over the top. I think.
Do you?
Yeah, I think with 6 games to go for City, and it was a little bit over the top, I felt. But it's obviously a big win. But I also think for Arsenal, they have to pick themselves up from that, because I think Arsenal will be relieved that game's come and gone, and now they've got 5 games left. If they win them, obviously they've got a great chance to win the league, but...
So I mean, it's a bit of a cliche, isn't it? But use those celebrations to motivate themselves.
Yeah, I just think it's a little bit premature and it might come back to bite them.
All right, let's look
You
at...
hope, you mean.
Well, come on to that as well. Let's take a look at... I mean, the battle between Haaland and Gabriel was fantastic. And as he said there to Guy, he relished it.
Yeah, it was a good old-school battle, wasn't it, I think, between 2 top players. And I really enjoyed Haaland's performance today. If you look at here, his intentions right from the start, closing the goalkeeper down, putting pressure on the Arsenal backline all afternoon. And here, his positioning, just off the back of Gabriel, great movement, gets across the front for him. Probably should do a little bit better with the finish, but again, all day he was causing Arsenal problems. Now again here, being a bit clever, making runs in behind. No defender likes players running behind him. And this is where he probably needs to tidy his game up. If he gets a bit more care on this pass, Semenyo probably goes through and scores. But he was causing problems all day. He had just been in the right place, been a nuisance, not switching off, anticipating where the ball's going to drop. Gets a good touch and probably should do a little bit better game with the finish. Yeah, and then this on the goal, I really like this. He's always on the back of Gabriel. You can always see his number. And now Gabriel doesn't know where he is. And then he gets involved. And once Gabriel gets involved, he loses focus, he loses positioning. And Haaland is a strong man, uses all his power, and that's a fantastic finish. Again, he had these little battles, knocking him off his feet, making him have to touch him, have to foul him. He didn't like it. He didn't like it at all. And again, here he's all over his back. Haaland being strong, being a nuisance. This is what you want to see from Haaland in every game. If he does this, he is unplayable. And then a little bit of handbags, and Gabriel's probably a little bit lucky, I think, to stay on the pitch then.
You think that could have been... I think you both think that could have been a red card.
I think they got lucky there. It's like Haaland gets more wound. If you wind him up early, it's like his energy rises and he enjoys the battle. I think you're better not fighting him sometimes and just kind of leaving him be a little bit, but he was bang at it today.
And the other thing that you highlighted there was just by having a sense of having to focus on that physical battle means their decision-making goes slightly different and they won't necessarily be in positions that they want to be.
Yeah, well, they're focused on the player, and you can't give Haaland space. And what he was doing all day today was he was pulling off the back of Gabriel, and so Gabriel had to go and find him. And then there was little pockets of space for the midfield players to run through him.
There've been plenty of games recently, haven't there, where I can be criticised and have been criticised. You would argue today was probably not one of them?
Yeah, I thought they approached the game with real confidence and quite brave, actually. They pressed City from the start. Like, City were good. They were really good. Really difficult to play them in a minute. But they went after them and they took a risk early in the game. And sometimes City played through them and got, you know, in for chances, of course. But this is what Arsenal fans have, in recent years, have moaned about in big games. Maybe they've been too pragmatic. Here, look, this is after going a goal down. All condensed in that little space of the pitch, waiting for a mistake. Poor throw-in, Donnarumma bad touch, back in the game from Havertz's willingness to go and close down. And that's a mentality shift, I think, from previous seasons where we've seen them play there. And second half, you know, to be fair to them, they got punched a couple of times in terms of City nearly scoring. But then they came out and they were throwing men forward, trying to get... I mean, Havertz should score. It's a good save from Donnarumma, of course it is. But it's a great breakaway. And again, committing men forward. Like, this is 1-1. Arsenal have been criticised many times for not going to try and win it or not being adventurous enough. See how many men they've got forward there at 1-1 away at City when the draw suits Arsenal. Here, set play, Gabriel, but we've seen this many times before. Havertz again, he's unlucky. Coutinho, I thought Havertz actually played well. He should have scored more than his one goal. This is at 2-1, so of course you expect them to be more adventurous, but the quality across, Havertz has to score. It's a wonderful chance, and that changes the whole dynamic of the title race. But in terms of criticising Arsenal today, no. Thought they'd give City a real good game. City were excellent as well. In recent weeks, if they'd have played like that last week, for example, against Bournemouth, they wouldn't be in this position.
Because they were fine margins, though. I mean, they could have easily gone 2-1 up before City got their second.
Yes, but the mentality to want to do it, rather than go 1-1's all right. They didn't. They went after them. They tried to win the game. They risked losing the game trying to win it.
I mean, Kai Havertz did have a good game for them through the middle today. I know you're slightly puzzled by Gyökeres being on the bench, aren't you?
Yeah, I just think in a game of this stature, your big number 9 who you've brought in for big money in the summer, like Haaland for Man City, you want them playing in these games and to make the difference. And I was just looking at it, I was thinking, if I was him, what would I be feeling? I wouldn't be happy at all if I was sat on the bench in a game like this.
Would it affect your confidence?
Maybe for the run-in for the next few games, because he'd be sat there thinking, you know, does the manager fancy me? Does he fancy Havertz ahead of me?
Yeah. I think he's created a more squad mentality, though. I think players at Arsenal are more used to it. It's just the way he works. I know you'd be knocking on his...
Yeah, but...
You'd be knocking on his... Finishes, yeah, that's it.
But if the big discussion for 2 or 3 years has been about needing a number 9, and then you spend the money on the number 9, and then you have the big game and a title decider and don't pick him, you can understand the mixed messages there, can't you?
Yeah, you can. And Havertz, as Danny said, he did have a good game, but I think if you're coming in, you're meant to be the goal scorer. And I actually think he's had a decent season. I think he'd be really disappointed he didn't play today. So
we asked both Wayne and Danny to predict the title race now. So we gave them all the fixtures remaining and then asked them whether win, lose or draw. Not actual scores. Wayne wondered at 1 minute whether we were going to put a bet on for him. But so you think Arsenal will win all of them? And you think City will drop 2 points away at Everton?
Yeah, I think it'll be tight. I think Arsenal, they're good fixtures for Arsenal. I think they will win all them games. And I think City's fixtures a little bit more difficult, and I think Everton might take a couple of points off them.
Do you see any, when you look at the Arsenal ones, and look...
I'd say West Ham away.
You'd go West Ham away?
I think they're playing well, West Ham. It's a tough game. That'll be a full house. That'll be a good atmosphere. I still think Arsenal win, but that'll be tight.
I would. The only reason I would flip that is because of how nervous it has seemed at the Emirates. So when you look at their home games, you've gone for wins against Newcastle, Fulham and Burnley. Yeah,
I think that the fans have got a big role to play. I said this last season against Real Madrid, they were excellent, and against PSG, they were very poor. And in the last game against Bournemouth, they're booing the players off the pitch, and you know they've been top of the league all season. And so the Arsenal fans, I want Arsenal to win the league. I don't want Man City to win the league. The Arsenal fans need to get behind the team. And
can you understand that they're nervous, though? Right? Can you understand that after 20-odd years without a title, they are nervous?
Yeah, but they've got to show the players. The players will be nervous as well. They've got to show the players that they're with them, that they're giving them the full support. I know they do, but when they're booing them after, you know, they're in the same final as the Champions League and top the league.
So they were Wayne's. Then we asked Danny to do the same. He just basically went win. Did you spend any time thinking about this, or did you just go win?
I just think they're going to be so focused now, both of them. They're two powerful teams. They've got such an array of talent. They're not reliant on 11. I think it'll go to goal difference.
So that would be it. It would go down to goal difference. You don't see any potential pitfalls, hurdles?
Bournemouth away. I think Bournemouth on their day can cause problems for any team. The only thing is with that is you know that Bournemouth are going to go after Man City and not be pragmatic, so you'd expect City to have enough. I just think big players turn up in the big moments. And I think City will edge it because they've got Haaland.
All the reaction to that and more on the way. Plenty of guests joining us along the way. Our starting team, including Michael Owen and Emmanuel Adebayor, who are both alongside me watching Manchester City go toe-to-toe with Arsenal. And sometimes a big game like this, with all the talk, disappoints. This wasn't one of them, Michael.
No, absolutely not. Right from the very kickoff, really, as well, Steve. I mean, look at this for great feet from Turkey. He's been absolutely brilliant in recent weeks. Arsenal will be disappointed that they let him dance through. Gabriel, I thought he struggled against him a couple of times today, but look at this for tight control, lovely feet, round one, past the other, and then a lovely slot into the bottom corner. Great start for City, Emmanuel.
Amazing start. As a lot of coach will always tell you, when you're in the box, keep composure, keep calm, and finish nice. And that's what he has done well. Obviously, as I said again, technically, he's one of the best in this game, and he just showed us today again how good he is. And obviously, you can see the mistake from Donnarumma, which I think he should clear it at one touch. I don't know why he take. The first touch was actually good, but now, obviously, he's a tall guy. He doesn't have the rhythm to kick the ball, and Havertz was already close to him, and then counter-attack. That's 1-1.
How powerful was City in the second half, though?
They were. I mean, we all know they had to win. They knew it. They had no doubts about what they had to do. And this came from Donnarumma. Yes, he made a mistake, but he also saved his team once and then started the attack for this goal as well. So, and who else would you want a chance falling to late on in the game? He's wrestling his man. Again, he's pushing Gabriel out the way as he's striking the ball. Lovely finish, and that was enough for the 3 points.
And a huge 3 points that Pep Guardiola got the better of Mikel Arteta, just as they knew they had to do to go within 3 points of the leaders with a game in hand. Much more to come here at the Etihad Stadium. But first of all, let's hear from the Manchester City manager, the serial winner, that is Pep Guardiola.
Well, Pep, it's on, isn't it? It's well and truly on.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, still we have hopes, but the only reality in the truth that we have a terrible calendar, and in terms of the quality of the opponents, and we are not top of the league. So far they are the best team in England, but of course we extend the chance, the hopes, to fight until the end.
What's the best thing about your team's performance today, from your point of view?
What we won against that team. So we beat him once. It's difficult, but twice in a margin of 3. So they're so incredibly competitive, aggressive, and all departments and set pieces and long balls, second balls, and today didn't less build up, most long balls. They are so good with Havertz and all the guys. So, but yeah, we had momentums. They had momentums. At the end, we did it.
Is the momentum with your team now rather than Arsenal?
No, I don't know. I didn't see, to be honest, I didn't see Arsenal in bad momentum at all. So in the Carabao Cup we were more, I think we were better. Today was, half equal, and momentums were really, really good. But they came here after the defeat, and that give you a something anger and something that you don't have because we won. And that is a little bit the difference. But we knew it. We talk about that we expect the most competitive. They are so competitive, start from Mikel, from the players, we know that. But at the same time, we are too.
Tell us about the game on a technical level, because it did look like these are the best two teams in the country.
Yeah, definitely. The table speaks for itself, and they have been the best. Always I think to the guys, congratulations. So we are alive, but don't lose the focus. And the focus is Burnley on Wednesday. That of course is our game in hand right now, and we can be, there. And that is what we have to do. So win our game. So that is what we have to do. But knowing that will be will be so difficult, because I'm thinking Everton or Brentford at home or Aston Villa the last one, and all again Crystal Palace, look in the form, all these kind of games that we have. So Bournemouth away, 13 games. Was last week one in Emirates and in Newcastle. Really tough two places. So that's why that only a feeling. Okay, we can drawing on losing. So we have been more difficult.
Even he can't play down the significance, the importance of what has happened today at the Etihad Stadium. The body language told you those City players played to win, knew they had to win, and boy, what a win they have recorded over the league leaders. They've now taken 20 points from the last 24 available. Premier League winner Joleon Lescott with City has joined us as well. You enjoyed the atmosphere, but also he's talking about the level of the technical game. I mean, how intense and good was that game today?
And the physical, I think all round it was exciting, enjoyable to watch. I think the referee let it flow. Yeah. Probably Gabriel was probably slightly lucky to stay on the pitch, but overall I think he made strong decisions and let the game flow and let them contest against each other. But yeah, the technical element, I think Nico O'Reilly, Bernardo Silva, I thought he was outstanding, and there's a lot of players that can take a lot of credit from today and a lot of positive confidence from today's performance. I think it reflected how both teams are. I think a lot of Arsenal's best performers are in defensive areas and a lot of Man City's best performers are in defensive areas, and luckily for Man City they came out on top.
And you've witnessed some incredible atmospheres in this stadium, both as a player and as a spectator. Where was that up today? Because the City players certainly fed off it, didn't they?
Definitely. I think there's three I can remember. I think there was the game I played in against Manchester United. I think there was a Champions League game here against Liverpool. I thought it was outstanding. They didn't go on to win that game, but then today they played a vital part in the second half performance. I think they recognised that the players probably needed a lift. It was pretty even. Arsenal probably went into half-time with a bit more momentum and belief they could come out, and then second half City came out and done what they've done recently and stepped it up and forced another goal. Yeah, that second half, Addy, after the disappointment of the Donnarumma goal, the mistake that you've explained, City's mentality again there for all to see?
That's part of their experience, and I said it, they have to be patient, and they were very patient. They know they have caused a lot of problems, which they have done quite well this afternoon, and the patience is key in these kind of games. The experience is there. They know at some point that their main striker who can make a difference, which he has also done so. And as he said, at some point you would definitely need your fans, and today that make a huge difference. It's a belief, like, okay, we have our 12 man behind us. They were supporting, they were singing, they were shouting. We don't have to disappoint today, and that's what they have done quite well. And at the end of the day, they're going home with the 3 points.
They weren't shouting any louder than that moment from that man. No surprise.
It was a brilliant moment and a typical Haaland goal. And Addy said a minute ago, he wants to feel the defender. If that was me, I'd be doing everything I can to avoid any contact. I want to get on the blind side, get behind, and then almost pounce and just nip in front just at the very last second. Whereas Haaland, he wants to grab. You saw he was grabbing, he was pulling, he was pushing, and it was continuous. And then all of a sudden, when it came, pulled him out the way, and the strength of him. And I enjoyed that battle today throughout, actually. Because a lot of the time, of course, the defenders are normally bigger than the striker. Normally, defenders can bully a striker. Well, they met their match today. Haaland was right at it. And don't get me wrong, he didn't have his best game ever. His hold-up play, his touch and things like that can always improve. But in the big moments, he always comes up with goods. Yeah, I mean, they've got a bit of history, those two, and it was the latest chapter, really, of that particular battle, wasn't it, today? Yeah, I think they both probably look forward to the battles. World-class players look forward to playing against each other. And like Mo said then, I think throughout the game, Gabriel probably got the better of him, especially around the halfway line and mid-area of the pitch. I think it's slightly easier for defender them because the defenders, the forwards obviously isolated. They have one player to contest with. He has to contest with both, so he has to move both sides. But the most important moment was in the box, and then he recognised to use all his strength and get in front of him. And ultimately, I think you strikers, you have the last laugh by scoring, and he's done that in each of the last 4 league games against Arsenal now, Erling Haaland. Yeah, but I think, whether we like it or not, Arsenal defenders are giving him a chance. As he said, Michael, obviously I'm tall and I'm big and I like sometimes duel, yes, I like to fight for the ball, whatever, but my technical ability also is good. But sometimes I don't want to fight. And as I said earlier on, they have to realize that Haaland, his first quality as a footballer is fighting. He's very strong and he got that capacity to put you under pressure and give you so much problem. So sometimes just let him have the ball. You know that if you have the ball, you can't do anything. Those are the things that I learned from Arsene Wenger. He will say, this defender doesn't know how to play football. Allow him to have the ball, then go and pressure him.
So allow him to control the ball. We all knew here that Haaland first touch will be going to throw in or will be going anywhere. It can even go in the stand. So allow him to have his touch. But when you are giving him that battle, that is why he enjoyed the most. He's always coming. He's always winning the battle. Why fighting him? Allow him to be. Let him have the ball. Obviously, the player that they're supposed to be fighting all the time is Doku, because whenever Doku has the ball and turn, it's a problem. Don't allow him to have the ball. And I think those are the mistakes that Arsenal keep commenting. When you keep commenting those kind of mistakes, this kind of game, Haaland will 1 win, 1 goal. They had the 3 points.
Gone 4 Premier League games without a goal. He's never been 5 in his career. I mean, I think your worst was 2, but you can't really relate to that. But no, but in all seriousness, just when people start to ask questions about him, on the biggest stage, you'll always have an answer.
Yeah, well, one day they'll stop asking questions, of course, about him. But no, that's what happens with goal scorers. You know, it's very strange, actually, because Manchester City all of a sudden have started picking up points against tough teams, keeping clean sheets, scoring lots of goals, spreading the goals out. Amazing that he hasn't been on the end of it in the last 4 games. But, of course, you can't keep a good man down. And he is that. I mean, he didn't have too many chances today, but, you know, he gets one proper one, and he knows how to finish. I mean, keeping the ball down. You know, if you practice finishing like that, it's one thing in practice, but you try it when somebody's pulling, when somebody's pushing, when you're trying to hold somebody off at the same time. You're stretching, you're trying to keep it down, you're trying to keep it to the side of the player. You're trying to time the pull and the push and the run for when the ball comes across. You've got so many different things that go into that goal. And I mean, he's elite at it. He can do them all, and you know, and that was just a seriously impressive goal. Some people might think, oh, there's a little bit of a fight at the back post, and he's knocked it in the corner. But there's so many different things, the time and all those things I've just spoke about. He's just a phenomenal striker, and you see him here at the back post. The way he almost gives that final shove just when he thinks that ball is about to hit his path. You know, Gabriel's nowhere near it. I mean, what would you do in that situation? I mean,
again, for me, physically, I enjoyed that side of it. But again, for someone like that, like I said, you probably have to take him away out of his reach. It's difficult because it's not a scenario that you can actually practice in training. The manager wouldn't want you to contest them kind of chances, so it's not something you're going to have to get used to. But you have to recognise what his strengths are, and his strength is being physical. So try and take that away from him. Take it out.
By what? By not touching him? By staying away and almost trying to...
Yeah, again, Gabriel's starting position was level. Now it's 50-50. Now it's a duel where if you started slightly in front, you've got to recognise what is the cross that can come in. It couldn't have been a stand-up to the back post. It had to be quite a firm pass across the floor. So now I can be slightly in front because now it can't go up. And then all of a sudden, now we're contesting it and I'm in front of him. But I think Gabriel's so fixated on showing how strong he is.
There we go.
I think he took it away. I think here now he knows that ball can't. He should have known that ball can't be dinked to the back six. So his starting position doesn't have to be so wide. It could be a slightly more narrow inside the width of the goal. And then that chance doesn't come to Haaland.
He actually gets done twice, doesn't he? He gets dragged out the way once, and then the ball doesn't come, and he goes behind him, and he drags him out the way again. It was a second time.
I think that's what he was looking for. Obviously, he's a player that needs physical battles to be present, to show off his skills. And he hold him to go to the second post. It's not working. He hold him, then pull him back to be in front of him. As soon as a player like that with that caliber have 1 meter ahead of you, and it's over. There is nothing you can do. And I think he is using his capacity quite well. If you put Mbappe there, he will not do the same thing. If you put another striker there, he will not do the same thing. Even Enrique will not do that. So this is his quality. So people have to understand that fighting with Haaland all the time, he will always be the winner because this is only one thing Haaland has as a quality. So don't allow him to fight. Don't allow him to touch you. Let him have the ball. He can't do oversteps. He can't do anything. Let him have the ball.
What about the bigger picture? As we keep mentioning, and you never get tired of it, you've been part of a squad that's chased down a 9-point lead. City will have done that if they win in Burnley on Wednesday. They're top of the league. Psychologically, if you were in that dressing room now, how important was that? What does it give you?
Oh, massive confidence, massive belief. Again, like we spoke about so many times, you want the objective of your season to be in your hands, and it is now. But I don't think it's a foregone conclusion that City are going to go and win every game. If you look at the fixtures, the Everton, Aston Villa stands out. Hopefully they're in Europa League final, so they're resting players before that game. But I think in terms of what it means for City, it's massive. But also Arsenal need to recognise there are a lot of points and games to fight for. And I don't think it's over. I don't think both of these teams win every game. I think there's more points.
I think the key moment of this end of season is going to be ATM, Atletico de Madrid for Arsenal. Yeah. That will be a huge one. That will be a tough one. Obviously, we know how they play. They're going to fight them, physical battle again. Then obviously some of the players will get kicked, some of the players will get injured, some will get tiredness, and it's going to be part of the... I think it can be the huge thing to make Arsenal fall at this end of season.
When you look at those fixtures though, Michael, you can feel the momentum in the air with Manchester City at the moment, and that's just been injected even further by the win today.
Yeah, absolutely. We looked at the games leading into today, the top teams that they've played, the top teams that have actually given a good beating to as well, kept clean sheets, scored plenty of goals. They're playing as well now as they have at any point of the season, and that's the ominous thing for Arsenal. Arsenal are probably at their lowest ebb at the moment. They're struggling, and their opposition are absolutely flying. So it's not looking good. They have got the momentum. Nice set of fixtures. Obviously, as Adi's just said, Arsenal have got to contend with the Champions League, which are two big games, two difficult games, two taxing games in the Champions League. With all due respect, Manchester City, the only other game that they've got to concentrate on is against a championship team. So, from that point of view, Manchester City have got the upper hand.
And they've taken 20 points in the last 24. No team in the Premier League has got that many at exactly the right time in April. And as Bernardo Silva was saying to us earlier on, the players who haven't been in this position are getting sort of swept along with the serial winners.
Yeah, with the current, and that's what you want. We've seen it today with the likes of Rodri, Bernardo Silva especially. I think they recognise what this game needed. Take the scruff of the neck, play kind of out your comfort zone. We've seen Bernardo Silva making last-ditch tackles so many times. So, again, if players are feeding off the energy, and they can only bode well, and you often talk about the experience side of it, and that they showed it today. I think they have more serial winners, but also more people, players in these scenarios and used to it.
It's the perfect mixture for me because obviously, as Bernardo Silva said himself, some leave, some are stay here. And obviously, when he came, he mentioned some names, Vinny Company, De Bruyne, David Silva, Aguero. Those are the people that give them those experience. And I'm pretty sure today, Doku will be talking to Semenyo. Guys, come on, we can do it. You have the capacity, you have the intelligence to be on your game today. It's not a good day for you, but work on this, work on that. That's how a team grows. Because we can't just swap everyone away and bring a new 22 or 23 players. It's not going to work. You have to change 2, 3, bring new, fresh blood inside, and those players will make a difference for you. That's what they're doing now, and it's a mixture of experience and young light. And you can see they all have confidence. They're all pushing the boat in the same direction, and it's just beautiful to watch.
And of course, we come to the leaders. And Pep Guardiola, not only the serial winners of titles, but in April, he's won 19 of his last 20 Premier League games now.
As I say, all the numbers, all the stats are pointing towards Manchester City. All the momentum, the way they're playing. You look at past seasons, Mikel Arteta hasn't got a great record in April. He'll actually be delighted when May comes, I think. If they can just stick to Manchester City's coattails in April, then he might have more of a chance, because it's not been the greatest of months. And obviously, Pep Guardiola has caught them. And now, now they've caught them, I think they smell blood.
They will, won't they? Because that's why half the dressing room have got 4, 5, 6 titles.
Yeah, definitely, and confidence again, and just winning. You serial winners, you want to win more and more, and that's what they'll be feeding off today. They'll recognise how big today was. Yes, result, performance, everything, the mentality of it, and what the psychological aspect of that was for Arsenal. And it's key for them. They don't dwell on this because there's still a lot of games to play, and there's some huge games for them. They can still make history for that club to go on to win it, whether it's Champions League or the Premier League, but they can't dwell on this as long as you probably anticipate.
Okay, more from Jolien.
Mikel, your players gave everything out there. Why did you think it didn't go for them tonight?
Because when you have so many open chances like we did against them, you have to put the ball in the back of the net and get away with the 3 points.
It's also very important, like psychologically, what's going to happen. So what did you tell them after the games, knowing that there are still 5 games to play?
Well, we lost an opportunity. We have another 5. Everything is there still to play, and we're going to go again.
This could be a shootout between you and City, so it could go down to not only wins, but scoring goals. And you know that this is the league that not only everything, twists and turns could happen in this league. So this could not only be, we are saying it's defining, but do you think it is defining this game?
Defining what, sorry?
as in the fight for the title? Is this the game defining, or, as I said, because there are 5 games?
Because there are 5 for us and 6 for them, and we're still 3 points ahead, so there is still so much to play.
Pep, congratulations. Such a big victory. Was that as much about mentality as quality today, that to fight and to get the vital win?
Yeah, they have to. But what happened in the last action score goal? What happened? So the match is in that level as some minutes. So they had the chances. We had the chances. I know how difficult they are, and really pleased to be there.
The first goal from Ryan Cherky, it was wonderful quality, but also the fact that he stayed on his feet. Some players may have taken the chance to try and go down. He stayed on his feet and scored a wonderful individual goal.
Well, we're close inside of the box, so when you dribble there with ability, of course, it's good. The second half we didn't find less, so it was good, a really good first half. At the second, we didn't find Ryan when we needed, but of course, he's an exceptional player.
Your goalkeeper today made a rare mistake, but then an hour into the game, second half, that save one-on-one from Kai Havertz was huge. What does that tell us about him?
That everyone can make a mistake in this group. It's how you react and how his mates giving support, and this is the most important thing.
And of course, it had to be Erling Haaland on a day like this.
Yeah, of course. So all the process was good. We attack quick with Havertz, Nico. What a game, make a good runner, and after make the assist, and Erling is in the right spot as always.
It's not over, but you said in the build-up that if you lost, it would have been over. So we now have a run-in. How do you approach these next 5 games?
One game at a time. So 5 games and have a tough ones. And now it's don't lose the focus. So recover well, prepare well, and go there.
You have to be feeling confident, though, after this.
Yeah, but we have to prove again. So who is top of the league? Arsenal. So that is only reality. So no, because now the momentum I see Arsenal is there. So I don't have the feeling that they were not good.
I think he's gone as well.
Who?
No, I'm deadly serious. If they come second, the only thing that might keep him in a job
Champions League
is
final.
winning the Champions League. But I don't think they're good enough to get even close.
What? They're in the semi-final.
Then that's as far as it goes.
No, at their best.
Are they better than Paris? Are they better than Bayern Munich?
No, what I would say is that they are, in my opinion, at their best, they're better than Atleti.
Yes, I think so. I think so. And over 2 legs, I think Arsenal have enough to beat Atleti. And then over one game in a final, this would be an amazing chance for.
Yeah, this was
us.
one game today and a final.
Yeah, but if they go at their best, if they're at their best, and we haven't seen that for a while.
But you just said it yourself. You can't turn form on.
No,
and
you
off.
can't. You can't.
And they're not in form. They've lost 4 in a row.
No.
Including their final today. He can't come second again and keep his job. He cannot.
Yeah. It'd be difficult, wouldn't it? But I know. But then he can't come second and keep his job. Then Arsenal have a problem of then who?
Yeah.
Well, if they're not thinking now about that, then they're not doing their jobs. We hear you, Erling. 2-1 today. I take no pleasure in saying this, but if Arsenal don't win this, is that the biggest bottle job we've seen in Premier League history?
Look, I don't like the word bottle job.
Well, find
I
another
think
one. I hesitated because I agree,
Yes,
but I can't think of one, so I didn't.
I think we're talking about the most competitive league there is. And I truly believe that the Premier League is the most competitive.
So do
league.
I, but they've bottled it.
And that means that every single game you need to be on your game. And if you're playing on multiple, and it's not an excuse, I'm just getting to it. If you're playing on all these competitions, of course, when you lose one, it will affect the rhythm and the balance in your team. And Arsenal are coming to this time of the year, probably not in the best form like they were earlier on. And,
so you agree they've bottled it?
No, I agree that they're not hitting form at this time. But City look sharp.
I had a 10-point lead, what, three weeks ago? Less?
It might be. But I said to you halfway through the season, beginning of January, whatever, that I didn't worry about Arsenal then. Arsenal have shown in the 3 years they've come second, they can get to January, February, and be top of the league and cruising. What they haven't shown me, or Arsenal fans, is can they from April, May, can they when it really matters, when the pressure really comes on, and you're involved in a lot of other maybe games in Europe or whatever, maybe sometimes FA Cup, can you handle it, and can you get over the line? Now, for 3 years, they haven't, as far as the league is concerned. This year, and answer your question in a roundabout way, this would be the biggest disappointment of the three if they don't go over the line. So now, we have to think they can still go over the line. They're not out of it. They can still win the title. We have to remember that. You know, City have got to win all their games. But what I agree with you is that when you look at who's in form and who's not now, Arsenal, for some reason, can't score goals in the way they were, whereas City look high as kites. City look as if they're playing the way Arsenal did at the beginning of the season. And that's the games they've got left.
When you look at the lead they had, as recently as 2-3 weeks ago. When you consider how...
I hate the word the bottle job. And we talked about this last year. I said, no, sometimes you just have to accept it. The other teams are better. The honest answer is that, Keezy, I don't know. I don't know what to say about that question.
Well, be honest. Because
a bottle job? I don't... No, because you can lose something like this without bottling it. It's just that you've lost form. Certain players have lost Saka for a while. They lost Odegaard for a lot of games.
They bottled it. Now, you can dress it up all you like.
No, I'm not trying to dress it up.
This is a title they should have won.
Yeah.
When or how?
Yes, I would agree with you.
We don't know. But Bournemouth killed them.
Yeah, that was bad.
What I would say today is, Arteta came into this saying, I'm on fire. Mm-hmm. Well, you go 2-1 down in the 67th minute. Get your centre forward on.
Yeah, I agree with that.
You give him 5 minutes at the end of the game.
No.
Yeah.
No.
I agree.